Hello, precious one. This is Pastor Dennis here again on Just the Word. I thank the Lord for giving us such an amazing week. I'm here to share the word of the Lord with you just as I do every week. And I believe that the Lord has got something to say to you as we pay attention or as we give heed to the words that are said on here. If today happens to be your first time watching me, I would kindly request of you to subscribe to my page or subscribe to this channel for more. And as I believe that in this day and age, all that we can all depend on is the word of the Lord, which is able to strengthen us and keep us safe in the course of our week. God richly bless you. Now, I want to talk about the many times that some people, or the many times that we all feel very down, and sometimes we are discouraged, even though we see the task ahead and we feel within us that there isn't strength for us to pursue, because it's one thing having the end of a matter within your heart or within your spirit. And when you tend to execute it, when God is taking you through the process of getting to what He showed you, it sometimes becomes very challenging. And if you're not careful, you may burn out, or you may run out of encouragement, or you will be depressed sometimes when you look at the extent at which you have got to accomplish certain things in life. Discouragement, it's no respecter of person. Everybody has got a dose of discouragement some way, somehow, or has the ability to deceive others. You could all appear all nice and looking as though everything is under control, but you could be very discouraged and down-spirited. If you find yourself battling with discouragement, these words are for you. Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand. The 7 lamps represent the eyes of the Lord that search all around the world. It's quite unfortunate that everyone has got to start something from somewhere, or everything that we see which are in their successful stage began from somewhere. But for some funny reasons, we tend to forget that they started from somewhere. Just come to think of it, anything in mind, anything that you could ever think of. It could be a business, it could be an investment, it could be a project, it could be a church, it could be anything in this life. Everything has got a starting point. Everything begins from somewhere. If you are not careful, you might be looking down at the effort that you are putting in what you are doing, simply because you are making a mistake to compare your starting stage with someone's finishing point. And that is the mistake most of us do. You have only started for a year. You've been started just for 2 years. You've been started for 3 years. And you are only comparing yourself with someone who has been in this business or has been in it for what? How many years? For 20 years? For 50 years? You cannot make that comparison. You tend to forget, because you were not privileged to have an idea of their struggle. So all you can see is their success story. But everything that you see, which has taken full shape now, didn't start like that. They had their own struggles, but they were not there. You were not there to be told the stories and everything that they had to endure. So I am here to encourage you by the words of the Lord, that do not look down on the efforts that you are putting in everything that you are doing. Do not underestimate your effort. Do not look down on the small beginnings. Everything has got to start from somewhere. When you consider everything going on, you are right to think that it's not going to amount to anything. But hang in there. It has got a future. You have only begun. And so the words of the Lord came unto Zerubbabel, that who has despised, who is he who despises the days of small beginnings? Who is he? Because the Lord will rejoice to see the plumb line in the hand of Zerubbabel. The eyes of the Lord will foresee that which Zerubbabel has started. The restoration of the temple would come to a perfect end. because the eyes of the Lord would ensure that it is perfected, or it comes to a very good finishing. And so do not despise it. If you are tired, get some rest, but do not give up on anything that you have started. You ought to fight on the more until the vision that you see within your spirit is made a reality. When you consider everything about small beginnings, it's possible to be discouraged. When you think of how you wanted to go and how everything is working against it, if you are not careful, you despise the strength that you have. You despise even believing that the Lord even called you to this task. But yes, He did call you to this task. Everybody has got to appreciate your small beginnings, because if you started off from a massive start, the probability of you thinking that you have arrived by your own strength is great. But when you start off from a small beginnings, there is room for you to allow God to take the wheels. So I'm here to encourage you. The reason why sometimes you feel tired is, yes, because the task ahead is greater than you thought. But that should drive you to make room for God to step behind the wheels and take care of things that you cannot take care of. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. If you would hold on tight, definitely you shall see the end of the thing that you have conceived in your spirit. May the Lord richly bless you as you have made time to listen to me on Just a Word. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.